This is Speedy Rashidi Ellis, professional boxer, find out in Lynn, Massachusetts.
What's Lynn, Massachusetts? Like, what's it like over there?
Lynn is a little different. You can say it's tough. It's tough growing up in Lynn, but it's home. I love it.
Do you remember the neighborhood you grew up in?
Yeah, I grew up in the Highlands. If you know about Lynn, I grew up in the Highlands.
When you think of the Highlands, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Like, what do you think about?
I could say fighting, because we used to fight a lot around the Highlands.
Were you more like outdoors guy, or were you more just like inside?
Now, I was more of an outdoors kid growing up, but I was inside too as well. I love playing video games and stuff, but I was always outside playing sports.
When did boxing first come into your life?
When my older brother first started boxing, we used to box around the neighborhood, but before we didn't even have boxing gloves, we had big gloves. We put socks in them it was like mittens. We put socks in and started boxing around the neighborhood. Then my brother went to the boxing gym. Then he used to come home and tell me about the boxing gym because that's all he was doing. So then me and my little sister followed along. Then we started boxing.
So you didn't see anything. It was more of him just telling you what boxing was about?
He showed me some tapes and stuff, like some fights. So, and it looked cool, and I was liking it.
How much older is your brother than you?
4 or 5 years, 4.5, yeah.
Did you kind of look up to him as a kid?
Yeah, of course, like any little brother does.
So then you said you and your sister started like boxing right after.
Yeah, my little sister.
So was your brother teaching you guys the ropes?
Yeah, he definitely did, yeah. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be boxing,
So he was kind of like, you would say, your first coach in boxing?
Yeah, you could say that, definitely.
You mentioned that it was pretty much your siblings, everybody's boxing.
Yeah.
Was there, friendly competition, or were you guys actually like really competitive and you wanted to beat one another?
Oh, of course, it was very competitive, especially, I had an old brother, like when we first started, I wanted to be better than him.
How did he get into boxing? Was there like a father figure or a mother or somebody?
Yeah, it was one of my uncles and my cousin, when first them two started, then, and that's how the whole chain started.
Was your uncle like a professional fighter, or they were just fighting for fun?
Yeah, he was a boxer too. Yeah, I guess he was an amateur boxer.
Amateur boxer? He never went pro or anything
No, I don't
like
think
that?
he went
What
pro.
was his name?
Well, he wasn't my uncle. He used to go to church. I call him Brother Ward.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just call him my uncle. But, yeah.
Not Andre Ward, right?
No, not Andre Ward.
As a kid, what do you enjoy most about boxing?
It was just fun, because I always loved fighting. Even since I was a kid, just watching Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, that was like my motivation right there. But I always loved fighting, so me going to the gym was like a playground. All the kids going in, training, practicing, sparring. So it was very fun for me.
Were you fighting like street fighting or just fighting for fun?
Well, street fighting was fun for me, so I enjoyed both. I enjoyed street fighting and in the ring.
Were you knocking people out?
Yeah, I was doing my thing as a kid, yeah.
Do you take any L's?
Nah. Oh, it's amateur, yeah, of course, but not in the street. I'm undefeated there.
In the streets, you're undefeated?
Yeah, definitely.
What boxing gym do you first enroll yourself into?
I started with the Rivera brothers. I'm still with them today. It was on the Lynn Way. Yeah, it was a gym in the Lynn Way. It was a little gym. It wasn't an office, but it was like a little offices room. Yeah, we was like near the beach. We was near the trash dumpster and the milk factory. It smelled so bad, but it was but it was a good experience.
What year was that?
2004, 2005, around there.
Before you went into that gym, how many years of experience do you have in boxing?
Oh no, I started there.
You started
there?
Yeah,
you could say boxing in the street because we were street boxing, but you could say that. But yeah, I was brand new.
How old were you when you started?
11 to 12.
Did you take boxing serious when you were training at that age in 2004?
Kind of, yes and no. But once I found out you could get paid from it and stuff, then I started taking it a little bit serious.
You started looking at the bigger picture?
Yeah, I started looking at the bigger picture. Because at first I was playing football. My dream was, to play football. But, then I really fell in love with boxing.
So when you said that you noticed that, you can get paid from boxing, like how serious do you take it though? Like, how were you training? How long were you staying in the gym?
When I was a kid, we trained all day. I used to wake up in the morning at like 4:35 to go jog in the morning, then go to school, then go right after school, go to the gym.
And it was on repeat every single
day.
day.
Every day, just working.
Monday to Sunday, or do you take like a day off?
Well, I usually take Sundays off, but I still work out. Like, I just do it every day. I try to take a day off, but it's kind of hard.
What would you say is the longest period you went without boxing?
Without boxing?
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know. I think I just been boxing all the time. Well, at one time I did play football in high school, so you could say I took some time off a little bit. But I was still in the boxing gym, but probably like a couple of weeks now. I mean, I've always been boxing.
You've never gone like a full year without boxing?
Nah, definitely not. Never that. No.
Not even like 4 months, let's say?
No, never.
Wow, so you've really been committed.
I was always in the gym.
How did your boxing style develop? Did it work out naturally, or were you working on certain things because you wanted to be a certain type of fighter?
I can say it happened naturally, but the fighter that really caught my eye, like before I even started boxing, I was watching Prince Nassim. He made it look very excited, made it look fun. It made me something I really wanted to try. So my style, you could see like I like to have fun in the ring, speed, agility, movement. You see all that.
Footwork?
Yeah, footwork. Yeah, definitely.
What would you say is your greatest weapon in the ring?
My greatest weapon in the ring, you can say my speed. That's what got my name Speedy. You can say my speed.
Who gave you that name, Speedy?
Oh man, I got my name when I was a little kid. I was probably like 14. We was fighting at the Spirit Field in Lynn, and I was fighting, and I was just throwing like 1,000 punches around just fast. Then the announcer just came and just gave me the name right there, right after my victory. Like Speedy Rashidi Ellis. His name is John. Yeah, I forgot his last name. I just seen him yesterday too. His name is John, but yeah.
And they just carried over for
Yeah, and stick with me. I was trying to change my name to the Prince, but nobody was having it. Just call me Speedy. Stick with Speedy.
Do you ever get tired when you're throwing those punches continuously?
Nah, I train all day, so it's natural to me.
You got a like engine.
Yeah,
a V8 engine?
Definitely, for real. Yeah, you say that.
What's your most underrated skill set?
My most underrated skill set is my IQ. My IQ in the ring. I'm very smart in the ring, and I know when to use my speed and when not, or when to pivot. My IQ.
When you're in there fighting, are you fighting off of instinct, or are you actually like analyzing things that are going on? Because I feel like when I'm watching a fight, it's like a split second where a boxer reacts. Is that just instinct?
Yeah, like most of my knockouts are just like twitch, like punches I don't even try to hit. Like my body just moves by itself. I swear, no one believes me. I swear my body just moves by itself, and I see the person on the floor. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it happens like that.
Talk a little bit about your amateur experience.
Oh, my amateur experience. I was ranked #1 in the whole USA. I won like 2 nationals, and I was traveling with the team. Did the Independence Cup, a lot of tournaments.
How many amateur fights do you have in total?
I know it was over, like, it was near 100. I had like 12 or so losses as an amateur, so I was like,
What weight class were you fighting in?
Sure, I fought. I finished at 154.
Were you fighting in the Golden Gloves too?
Oh yeah, I won the Golden Gloves like 3 times.
Do you remember that first amateur fight?
Oh yeah, I was excited. I was 12, and the other person was like 16, 15. He lied about his age on the paper. I don't know how they even got away with that. Yeah, then we went in the ring, and I still whooped his ass though. So I was excited. As a kid, you beat somebody older than you. You're like, yeah, I did that.
I gave you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you say you have confidence in yourself, or your confidence in the work that you put in, or your talent? Where does your confidence come from? Both,
because I know I work hard, and I know the other person on the other side in the ring work harder than me, and the gift I got is God gifted. It's not easy to come by somebody that fight like me. I'm not being cocky or anything. I'm being, I'm just seeing what I see.
Your gift is speed.
Yeah, you can say it, speed, yeah.
So you never really had to work on your speed because you just naturally had it?
Nah, I naturally had it. I was like a little chubby kid, but always fast. When I first started, I was a little chubby, but I always had fast hands, fast feet.
How's your power?
28 and 1 with 17 knockouts, so that says it right there.
Do you have more explosive power or just like heavy hand
power?
The
punches you don't see, that hurt the most, so they don't see it, so they end up on the floor.
So maybe it's the timing too,
Yeah, timing, speed, yeah, definitely.
Because to knock out a fighter who don't see those punches coming, you need to have good placement, good timing.
The IQ, man,
yeah,
the IQ.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. You mentioned that you had 2 national titles, right?
Yeah.
What was the road to those national titles? Like, what were some of the sacrifices you made, some of the work that you put in?
Oh man, it was a lot of sacrifices, especially sacrifice from my parents too. We had to pay our way to go to tournaments. Tournaments in Ohio, California. So, that ain't easy, especially where I grew up. We didn't grow up rich, so we had to find a way to get money to go to tournaments. So it was just a lot of sacrifice and training, everything.
What's after nationals? Do you advance to the Olympics or internationals?
It depends which type of tournament back then. I know things change now, but back then, it depends what type of tournament. But that's how I became #1 in the USA because I won the national PALs, I think it was. I won that, then I became #1 in the whole USA. Then I started traveling with the team.
Do you ever try to fight for the Olympics?
Well, back then I did.
How did that turn out for you?
At that time, I just wanted to go pro because in my mind I thought I'd be rich right away once I go pro. So I was like, yo, fuck that, I just want to go pro.
But you did have a few international fights, like
yeah, international fight. I won silver in the International Independence Cup in DR. Won silver over there. I thought I could have got gold, but I fought the 2-time Olympian from Cuba. I forgot his name, but yeah, I fought him, and it was a close fight. I thought I won, but they gave it to him, so I got silver.
We said there's a difference between fighters in the U.S. and fighters globally in terms of like styles and things of that nature.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about your pro debut. That was in 2013, right?
Yeah, it's 2013. I didn't even know that. Yeah, 2013. It was against Josh Beeman. I knew Josh Beeman when I was a little kid too. So me fighting him as my first debut was kind of excited because he had over like 20-something fights at the time. So I was very excited for that.
Before you turned pro, like what do you want to achieve in boxing? Like what were you looking to do?
Or like any other kid, just want to be world champion.
In 2014, you fought 10 times and
Yeah.
you won all of those fights, which is unheard of.
Yeah, I believe in that time I was staying in Puerto Rico and I was fighting in Puerto Rico and DI. So they had fights all the time, a lot of shows. So I was like, why not? I feel like I was fighting every 2 weeks. So yeah.
That's great experience
you staying
right there,
busy,
man.
Definitely.
You can't get that here in the United States.
Yeah. So and it was against like good fighters. Good fighters wanted to win. So me fighting all those guys at that time was good experience.
Would you say that period in your boxing career kind of made who you are as a fighter?
Yes, definitely. Especially going to their hometown and fighting them. So you gotta win. You gotta win big. Because if not, they give it to the other guy. So yeah, like I said, experience.
You fought on PBC Boxing.
Yeah, pay-per-view card. Yeah.
Big card. Talk about that fight.
It was a good fight against Roma Villa. I thought I won that fight. A lot of people don't know I only had one arm that whole fight, so I broke the world record of the most jabs because that's all I was just jabbing the shit out of him.
How many jabs do you land in the entire fight?
I forgot the boxing count, but it was a lot. It was over 1,000. I know that for sure. But yeah, so.
Were you injured?
Yeah. I tore a muscle in my arm and something with my shoulder and my elbow. It was all messed up. But just fighting on that card, I know it was a big card, so I just took it because I thought I could beat it with one arm, and which I proved. I thought I won the fight. We won it, even I was doing my thing, but the judges didn't see it that way.
I had you winning 115, 113.
Yeah,
it was a close fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight. Yeah.
You got dropped a few times at the end, right?
Yeah, it was at the end, but it's still the points still don't add up how he won.
Would you say you just gassed out at the end? Like what happened there?
Nah, he probably capitalized that my arm was hurting. I couldn't even lift it up all the way either. Especially during the later rounds, I couldn't lift it up. So he probably just capitalized on that. And I'm still trying to get that rematch. I even hit him up too.
He didn't want to fight you again?
Nah, he don't want to fight me again. But hopefully it happens.
Did you hurt that hand during training camp? Like what was that injury about?
Yeah, it was during the training camp. Yeah.
It was good that you didn't pull out, man, because it brought your name up a little.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
How was his power? Because he's known for power.
Oh yeah, he's strong. Almost all his wins was knockouts. He got power. Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing like you've ever felt before.
Nah, I felt that before. At the end of the day, I got back up. That was my rocky moment, getting back up. That should have secured the victory right there.
Do you think if you would have won that fight, you would have had the Boots Ennis fight right after?
That was the plan. That's probably why they didn't give me that win. They didn't want me to fight him. But yeah, definitely. You know, it looked like that was a good setup. And we could still fight though, so I don't see nothing wrong with that.
How do you think that fight would turn out today?
Me coming victorious.
Have you ever sparred him before?
I never sparred him. I never even seen him in the amateurs either. Yeah, I never sparred him in nothing.
What makes you think you could beat him? Like, what about your style?
Because I'm Rashidi Ellis, man. Shit. Put him in front of me, I'm gonna beat you.
Do you feel like you need a few more fights to get that championship title fight, or you want it right now?
I've been calling these guys out since forever. I've been calling out for the big fights for over 10 years now. But you know, I feel like people don't want to take that risk because I don't want to say they're scared, but it's something there to it.
All you really need is that one opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do you get that opportunity?
I guess I just got to keep on winning.
I was looking at your record and your experience. You've been consistent since you started your pro career. Even before, like your amateur, you've been consistent every year, pretty much. Like you had a few fights from when you first started until now. And that's how you build your professional career.
Yeah.
And you already have almost 30 fights. I don't know. I think it's strange in your situation where you haven't gotten that title fight yet because you had the experience. You've been boxing since you were 10 years old.
Yeah, plus I've been high on the rankings for so many years and up and down. I've been number 1, 2, 3, 4, and still nothing.
So what you got to tell the promoters, man, because they're the ones that make the fights. What you got to tell them?
I don't think it's point. I think it's the fighters. They always find a way to dodge me. Because nowadays it's easy to go pick somebody out to that you know you could beat. Everybody's just trying to have that Floyd record, so they ain't trying to take no risks.
They're trying to protect that.
Yeah. So they ain't gonna try to take a risk like that.
How would you describe the business and the politics of boxing?
Man, I don't want to say dirty, but it's all messed up. You know, it's not like how it was back then. The best fighting the best is I understand though, but you know, it's like influencers or who's bringing the most asses on the seat.
Do you respect every fighter that steps in the ring with you?
Of course, it's not easy to get in the ring and fight somebody in front of a crowd. It's not easy to do that. So yeah, of course I respect everybody that get in there.
Have you ever fought with emotion?
Yeah, but I use that to my advantage as well. You know, I guess I know how to use it in the ring.
How to use it in the ring?
I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if I'm mad at you, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna show you that I'm mad at you. So I know how to use it. I'm not gonna come reckless and, you know, some people get mad and lose control and just start swinging crazy, then they end up on the floor. But I know how to, you know, turn it off and on.
Who are some of like the best fighters you've ever sparred?
Best fighters I've ever sparred? Damn, I sparred so many fighters.
Let's say, give me like a list, like a top 3 or top 5.
I might forget some because that's why I saw so much.
A lot of pros?
Yeah, that's why a lot of pros. Damn. Juan Guzman, I sparred him. He was the fighter I used to look at when I was a kid too. You know, Boo, Demetrius.
That's good work.
Yeah, definitely. He taught me a lot. And my older brother, Ronald Ellis.
Do you spar Canelo?
Yeah, I sparred Canelo for years. Yeah, I sparred him for when he fought Amir Khan. I sparred him when he fought Cotto and who else? Caleb Plant and somebody else for years. He taught me a lot, especially going there. When I first started, I think I was like 22, I was 21 around there. So I only had like 10 pro fights, so sparring Canelo. And at that time, he was like the face of boxing, so it was a very good experience.
How was his power?
Oh, I'm motherfucking strong.
You can crack?
Yeah. So, I would stick and move, make sure I don't get hit. That's it.
You really didn't get caught like that?
Nah, not really. Nah. They call me Speedy for a reason, sticking and moving.
Be honest though, was he going all out or was he just working with you?
Yeah, so you trying to kill me. He be like, sometimes we go light and sometimes we work.
It's not like, all right, this guy only has 10 fights, let me just take it easy. Like, no, this is the professionals. Like, we gotta go at it.
But I didn't want that though. I didn't want him to take it easy. Yeah, I want the full experience.
Were you nervous in there when you were
Nah,
fighting?
I was not nervous. I was excited. I was like, word. Yeah, because the first time I went in the gym, he was sparring. His name's Stevenson from New York. Yeah, once I walked in, it was banging. Then I just got myself ready right away and just jumped in. I didn't even have time to warm up. Yeah, so I went in there, started sparring him. So I did my thing.
And Eddie Reynoso was part of it. He was there. Giving
Yeah,
him-
he was there. He said that's how I got signed with Golden Boy. Yeah, because they see me sparring Canelo. They was like, damn, who's this? Because I was doing my thing.
How did you get the opportunity to spar Canelo?
I kind of I guess my old manager called my coach, and that's how it happened.
Negotiated that for you?
Yeah, I went over there in California.
Are you currently signed right now to a big promoting company?
Yeah, right now I'm working with CES. Yeah, promotion. So
You mentioned that you were signed with Golden Boy. How long was that contract for?
I was signed with them for like 5. I was with them for like 5 years or so.
How were they as a company?
Yeah, they they were
Solid?
good. But it just didn't work out because at that time they was keeping me busy at the end. But other than that, it was good.
What would you say is the hardest part about boxing?
The hardest part about boxing is making weight. I hate making weight. I love to eat, but that's the hardest part of boxing, I could say. Everything else is fun, just making weight.
What's the biggest mistake you've ever made inside of a ring that you can remember?
Biggest mistake? That's a hard question. I really don't know. Biggest mistake. You mean like? What you mean by that exactly? Like,
For an example, let's say you only have one loss, but like throughout your fighting career, was there ever a point in time where you had a few difficult rounds and your corner was telling you they were giving you specific instruction, but
yeah.
you didn't listen to their advice, and you went
Yeah,
and
of
you went in there
course.
doing whatever you wanted to do.
yeah, just like little things, but you learn from experience. But like certain thing like jabbing, put your arm down, something you get caught with the jab. Like, oh, okay, now you know the jab. You just know how to do different certain things. But that comes with experience. So yeah, you can say that.
How important would you say it is to have a good coach, a good promoter, good team, good overall team around you as a fighter?
Oh yeah, you definitely got to have a good team. Without a good team, like it would be very hard to make it. So you definitely need a good team to push you or see what's going on with business because you can't focus on every little thing. It'd be kind of hard. So because you got to focus on training.
Do you think a fighter can make it on his own?
They could, but it would be really, really hard. It would be really, really hard. But then again, I don't know one fighter that made it on their own.
Who has played the biggest role in your boxing career? Who has made the biggest impact?
I'd say my older brother or my coach. Alex Rivera. That's my boxing coach since I started as a kid. So yeah, those are people that inspired me to keep on going.
What's a consistent message that your coach always drills into your head?
Hit and not get hit, and it's keep on training because you never know.
What kind of example do you try to set for like young fighters in your gym and fighters that look up to you?
How hard work pays off, and just ignore the negativity, stay positive or whatever you want to try to do. Is either boxing or trying to be a doctor or whatever you want to do.
Does hard work beat talent or does talent beat hard work?
Hard work definitely beat talent, but if you got talent and hard work, the sky's the limit.
Fill in the blank. In order to be an exceptional boxer, one must master
Hard work. Like I said, hard work beats talent.
You don't think there's a fighter out there who doesn't work hard but is a really good fighter and is at the top of the boxing game?
Nah, I think if you're up there, you have to work hard.
Do you still have that same hunger that you had when you were coming up in boxing right now?
Yes, definitely. I'm still heading to the goal of being the world champion. So the hunger definitely didn't go away.
Do you feel like you've made it in the boxing world?
I don't feel like I made it, but I definitely put a stamp in the boxing world. But there's a lot of work to be done, a lot more work.
Is there anything you would have done differently coming up in boxing?
Nah, everything happens for a reason, So put it in God's hands. So can't really say that.
No regrets?
Yeah, no regrets at all.
So you're fully satisfied how your boxing career has played out so far?
Yeah, definitely. It is what it is.
How old are you right now?
32.
So you're physically in your prime.
Yeah, I feel good. I treat my body good. I I don't do crazy stuff like,
What specific message will you give to an amateur fighter who's looking to build a professional career?
The message I'll tell the amateur fighter to get the most experience as you could as an amateur, just keep on building your record and see different styles when you going in. So that comes with experience. And when you go to the pro, you already see a lot of different styles.
How much fights would you say an amateur fighter should have before turning pro, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it all depends though. But in my opinion, you really don't gotta have 100 or 200 fights. So probably like 30 or so, probably 50.
Has boxing shaped you more as a fighter or as a man?
More as a man, it keeps you, because boxing showed me a lot of discipline. Stay focused what you want to do in life.
Do you feel like boxing chose you or you chose boxing?
That's another good question. I feel like boxing chose me because since I was a kid, I always loved fighting, man. Like it was just something about the one-on-one combat sport. Especially as a kid, you think I'm a Power Ranger, watching Dragon Ball Z, So I always loved the combat.
Outside of boxing, this has nothing to do with boxing.
Nothing to do with boxing.
What's the biggest life lesson that you've learned in life?
In life? Let me see. Biggest lesson I learned in life. Shit, life ain't easy. But everybody got, up and down in life, but you just gotta keep moving forward.
What does life after boxing look like for you?
I don't know, I really don't really think about that, It's staying focused, but life after boxing, it's just making sure my kids are good. That's it. Make sure that I put them in good positions,
You never thought about when you retire, when you hang up the gloves? At what age or anything? You never thought about that?
No, age, nah. I really don't think about the age. It depends how I feel, So I don't want to set a time with me retiring, just how my body feels. I feel good, so I'm gonna keep on going.
So if you feel good at 40, you're still gonna go?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real with myself. But if I feel good at 40, I'll definitely still keep on going.
Do you have any aspirations to be a coach someday? Open up a boxing gym?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. I definitely want to open up a boxing gym, and help the kids out like it helped me out. Kept me off the streets. So definitely want to open up a gym and inspire the kids.